Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this Pigeon and plants. I'm so excited to start drawing on this. I have been drawing quite a bit of ducks recently, so I wanted to draw another animal, another fowl, another bird, so a pigeon just felt like the right thing. So here I am just going ahead and trying to get that foot placement just right, and once I have that dialed in, then I can get the back wings going. Definitely trying to get the body of the bird down before I get too far into the sketch, and of course just getting everything dialed in here. This is a very easy animal for me to sketch just because of that long neck. I don't have to think too much about it connecting to the body, which is really fun. Plus I love this back foot right now. It's so wide stance, super fun to draw. So it was really quick for me to get a sketch going for a pigeon. So now that I have that sketch done, you see how I'm like bringing out that neck. I'm just trying to make sure I'm giving a good representation of a pigeon, and they do kind of puff out their chests sometimes. So instead of it being kind of like a cartoony duck, I'm bringing that out. And you see how like I have that sketch, but I'm 100% not drawing exactly what it is. I'm using it as a guiding post, but not as a actual thing I'm doing. I think that's really the way I tend to sketch, is that I have something down. I like the beginning stages of it, but I don't have to work it all out. I can just go ahead and sketch right on top of it, fix the things that I feel like I need fixing, and move on. So I'm just putting in the wing detailing now and the collar for the pigeon, and it makes it a super easy sketch. I'm just getting the chest. I want to make sure it looks right on the figure. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing on the plants now. So I'm going to let you guys listen to some music while I go ahead and do that. So I pulled up a reference for these plants just to make sure I was getting the body and the shape of the plants that I wanted. I usually pull up a reference for things, just everyday things. I don't know, I just find comfort in having something to look to since I use references so much. but I just wanted to make sure I was getting leaves drawn that had a really good depth. And just like with the bird layer, as soon as I get that sketch done and I feel like I have everything that I need, then I can then go in and do the coloring. That's actually one of my favorite tricks when it comes to iPads. I might actually teach it in a lesson sometime. Instead of erasing something, I just select it and pull it off the screen. It's such an easy way to get rid of something. It's very fast. Anyway, so I'm dropping the opacity of this background leaves, and I'm gonna go in right about now and start finding a color to paint the leaves. So I select a color and then I go with a slightly darker one because I want the final leaves to be that color I started with. So that way I don't have to put a lot of brain energy into what color the line should be. I just pick the color that I want and then have it be a little bit darker. And it's a really easy way to make it work. So as you can see, some of these I'm kind of trying to trace almost exactly, and some of them I don't really care if they match or not. It's in the right placement, and that's what matters to me. So I'm just trying to make sure everything makes sense while also respecting the vague lines that I drew. So I really do like to use sketch layers as a sketch, and then I can process it and make it better moving forward instead of constantly feeling like I need to follow exactly what I sketched. I choose to draw this kind of layered method. So now I'm going ahead and getting the line work done for the pigeon, of course, on its own layer so I can separate it as needed. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to have the parts of the bird's feathers be a different color or not. And sometimes the outer stroke is the thing that gets it, but I always try to make those kind of decisions right now while I'm doing the lines versus later where then I would have to course correct. And you see, even the pigeon that I had done, I'm even correcting the lines as I draw these final ones. So it's never going to be about me having the perfect sketch. It's always about refining as I go, and if I feel like it needs more refinement, then I'll go ahead and do it. But like the whole pigeon lines are on one layer, so the beak is going to be a color, the feet, but they're different from the wings, which is different from like the detailed neck collar. So it's all about just making sure I have what's correct for the final product all on one layer for the object that I'm working with. And yeah, I'm just cleaning up stuff now. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys keep listening and have you guys see me start to color this. Okay, so this is me just finishing up the base background stuff, and now I'm going to be coming in with the stuff that actually makes it feel a little 3D with highlights and shades. This is obviously top lit from the looks of it, so I'm just trying to give some of these leaves some of that rim lighting effect. I really do try to think of these leaves being top stacked, so if this leaf is at the bottom, then it needs to follow the shade lines of the stuff above it. So I really try to consider that kind of a thing when I am shading. So I'm starting from the bottom up, and I'm doing a little bit of a feathered, I'm using a crayon chalk brush, so it makes it really easy for me to be able to do a little feathering on the edge. But I try to respect the shade of the thing above it, so it really feels like it's in the space. And in this one, I decided it's a little bit more further back set. So I usually follow the contour of the object and then what that object in shade would look like with other objects around it. So yeah, that's generally how I'm shading this. It's abnormal for me to do like a feathered shade like this, so it's kind of nice to be able to play around with it. But that is pretty much me finishing up on the leaves, and now I want to try to shade a part of this pigeon to make sure he also looks like he's kind of tucked away behind the leaves. So I'm now putting him into the space with the shading and trying to have it be, so if the object on the bottom is 100% shaded, then I'm just assuming that the thing behind it is also shaded. So that means that the little bit of a wing is in shade, but past that everything else is out. So I really try to think of how big is that object on top of it. Is it 100% taking up all of the light, so the thing below it isn't even hitting the light? And in this regard, I wanted the pigeon's tail to be so tucked behind and into the leaves that I wanted it to look like it wasn't even catching the light. So that's why I shaded the tail like that. And that's pretty much everything. Thanks for watching Pigeon in Plants, and I hope to see you all again soon for another draw with me. Bye.